Should we tell the person that we're just starting to date about our past and our past relationships? Is that us being completely honest and open and wanting to start this relationship on a completely fresh, clean slate? Or is that us having a little confession moment? If you're one of these people, then you need to reconsider a few things. Or are you one of those people that actually doesn't say anything about their past or doesn't mention anything and refuses to talk about it? Because the past is the past and what happened before us doesn't really count, and I don't want to talk about it or share it. Because if that's you, that's also an issue. So when is a good time for us to share our past with our current partners? What we should say and what we shouldn't say, and how to go about it. So if it's something that you've had to deal with, struggled with, or been in a situation where you weren't sure and you got asked questions and you didn't know how to answer it, then this video is definitely for you. If you haven't been to my page, welcome. I'm Hamasa. I look at personal development, mental and emotional well-being, as well as day-to-day issues. Do subscribe to my page so that you're up to date with all my content. This is a very tricky question or situation to be in, because some people need to know everything and that's what works for them, and they need it to start getting to know you. And some people really don't want to know, and when you're sitting there oversharing and giving details, then you're kind of sabotaging and shooting yourself in the foot. So what's the right balance? What's the right time to discuss and speak of parts of your past? Definitely not on the first date. And there's a number of reasons for this. First of all, because it's a first date, we don't know where this is going. We don't know if this is going to work out or not, who this person is, what this person's about, what their intentions are with us. Because obviously, again, just because they're saying all the right things doesn't mean that they will do all the right things. So in order for you to really get to know someone's intentions, actions, and the person they are, you need to give them and yourself some time for you to see that in action, not just by their words. So if you're sitting there and sharing all of this with someone that you barely know, how do you know that that's safe? You are making yourself vulnerable. You are telling your deepest, darkest parts to someone that you've just met, and let's say by the second or third date you both feel like this isn't for you. So what happens with all that information that you've shared with someone that you don't really know? Secondly, it could really overwhelm someone when you're sitting on a date and you're just like offloading. And it's like, I was dating a girl, she was living in Germany, and it didn't work out because she was crazy and she got so possessive because it was long distance and she would question me and da-da-da. They don't need to know that. Two things. Why are you painting yourself out to be the victim? Nobody likes a victim, and nobody likes feeling sorry. You shouldn't want to be with someone who pities you. So don't make yourself out to be a victim. And two, you don't need to make the other person or your ex-partner made to be out crazy. Because first of all, if they weren't crazy when you got with them and they're acting crazy now, then it means that you were the reason that they're crazy, so it's not a good look for you. And secondly, if they were crazy to start with and you still overlooked that and decided to date them, then that's also on you. It's never a good look to sit and badmouth your partner, especially your ex-partner, especially when you're meeting someone new and it's not that far gone. It doesn't call for you to give details. So my policy is be honest, but leave out the detail. You don't need to go into the ins and outs of it. You don't need to start painting a picture of this person. Most likely your ex-partner and your current partner will never cross paths. So they don't need to know all the details. What they need to know is, I was dating a girl in Germany, things didn't work out because of the distance. That's it. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know that the girl turned crazy on you, that she was possessive, that she was questioning you, because it's unnecessary, because both had a part to play in this, and when we retell a story, we always tend to say it from our perspective and only paint a one-sided picture. So most people who have half a brain and are sitting on this date, when someone is such a victim and they keep talking about what's been done to them, in my head, okay, well, what did you do to stop it? What did you do to allow them to think that it's okay for them to treat you like this? And if you didn't do anything about that, you're also to blame, because you can't control other people, but you can control yourself. And that, to me, demonstrates a lack of self-worthiness and a lack of self-respect. So, of course, everybody goes through stuff. Of course, everybody gets hurt. That doesn't mean that we all ask for it. But to think like a victim and to feel like you were completely helpless and you had no part to play in this and it's all their fault, then reeks of narcissistic traits, reeks of a victim mindset, and is the way how you see it and what you make out of the situation. So it's never cute or attractive when you're sitting there bad-mouthing your ex. So you don't need to tell your partner about your past on the first date, on the second date. You need to know that they're safe. So that's further down the line. And when you do speak about it, be very thoughtful, pick and choose your words, and make sure that you're completely honest with them if they're asking, or if you want to share, but leave out the details. That doesn't help anyone, and it's the nitty-gritty of things that you need to be there to experience it. Retelling that isn't going to paint the picture any better. And when you do share your past experiences and the things that you've been through, possibly your traumas, possibly something, anything, then share it in a way that this is what happened and this is what I learned from it, or about myself, or about things that I want in a relationship, or this happened, but here I am. I'm healed, I'm moved on. When you say, oh my God, my past did this, my ex did this to me and I cannot get over it, means you're still carrying that trauma, means that you're bringing that into this date. So the only way that you should discuss your past in a little more detail than being honest and just telling the context of the situation is if you actually discuss things that you've learned, you've grown from, things you like and dislike, like the positives and silver linings of every situation. So it's very important for us to figure out how and when to share things with our partner. Most likely it's not at the start, it's quite further in when he goes into detail. It's never about lying, do not lie, and it's also not about withholding, because the more you withhold, the more you're making something out of it. Where it's absolutely true that your past has nothing to do with your present, it also sometimes you need to reassure your partner, you need to be open and honest, because you might have certain habits, you might have certain traits that have shaped you because of your past relationships. And if you don't share that with your partner, then they're going to blame themselves, or they're going to blame you, and it's just going to create unnecessary tension. So if you share things, then explain why you do the things you do, what brought you to this stage, and how you feel about what's happened in the past in terms of what you've learned, what you didn't learn. Bad-mouthing the other person, playing the victim, oversharing, looking at it as a confession does not help your current relationships. So if you ask me, should I tell my date about my past on the first, second, third date, I'd say no. You should mention it and be honest, like, I used to date this person, it didn't work out, we had difference of opinion. Next, you don't need to go into detail, they don't need to know, they don't deserve to know yet, they need to earn that. And when you do tell them, only tell them things that will help and grow your current relationship, not your intimate details that will make your partner feel insecure, not like intense arguments and fights, things that was exchanged, things that was said. It is the past, it doesn't belong in your future, and you're just carrying unwanted resentment and weight. If you've liked this video, please do subscribe. Please share this with someone who you know is an overshare and may need the help. Please like and comment on this video, and I'll see you guys here again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.